premiers for the second time in 3 seasons.
Collingwood win. It doesn't get better than that.
Mick Malthouse, welcome to Fox Footy.
Thank you, Jared.
You stand on the brink of one of the great milestones in the game, a truth that we've all grown up with and a mark that was established before you were even born. Do you have a sense of the magnitude of what you are eclipsing here in the coaching record of Jock McHale?
Well, there's no false modesty. It's something that you don't dream of, you don't think of, you don't plan. It hit home last year when I got a letter or an email from the AFL, and it said you can pick a game. I was so appreciative of the letter. It was beyond my thoughts that would take place. But to think that people were thinking about it, I was really concerned about expectation, and for the first time in my life, I was starting to worry about other people's expectation, and it becomes such a burden that for about a month I just thought, this has got to go away, or I just don't even want to do it. And then, sometimes you have a epiphany, and woke up and thought, hang on, why am I worried about everyone else's expectation? I've only lived by mine. So let's go back to my expectation and don't worry about it. So the numbers just come up, and there it is. So it's too easy to dismiss, and it'd be so wrong to dismiss, because it's Jock McHale is such a revered figure, and I don't want to dismiss it like that, but I'd probably appreciate it later more so than now.
Do you feel a sense of honour around it?
Oh, it's a great honour, but I don't know what's the honour for. Just lasting, or
well, lasting in coaching is not to be underestimated.
That's right. It's probably an art in itself, isn't it? I feel a lot of things, and I don't know which one's more overwhelming than anything else. I think it's probably more to do with thanks and how lucky I've been. Thanks to great people that I've been involved with and live with, and luck that I've had such great coaches and great players, great support, and even as a coach, you can't do it without a team.
Yep.
Whether it be your home team or whether it be your match day team, you can't do it without them.
One of the marvels of you is the way you've been able to move through the generations, and we're currently up to Generation Y and all the challenges that gives, and yet I would say from the outside your connection to them is as strong as your connection to your first group of players who would have only been a couple of years younger than you.
A couple older than me.
Yes. What's the secret to staying connected to the generations along the way?
I used to think it was music, but let me tell you, I've failed dismally. I lost them about midway through Collingwood term, I reckon. I just don't know where that's going to. You're going, like, I'm used to getting the gloves and banging into a bag. You must get your head and bang it against some wall over here. You come out with the same output. It's just dreadful stuff, but they think that my stuff is too. So we have a difference in music, but we have pretty much a common thread in terms of interest in the caring, of wanting to see people get better, enjoy their time at the football club, develop their football and develop their life.
Across other industries, one of the observations made about this current generation is you have to be more gentle, more indulgent, can't be as ferocious as in the old days. Now, you've lived through all of this. Do you think there's a truth to that?
Yeah, I do. I reckon there is. I reckon it is, but I'd say that my best was given to a few blokes at Footscray and West Coast. I reckon I've given them a nice touch-up and they remember it. We know the demands today, and this doesn't change. 22 players love you every Friday night pre-match. The 23rd bloke reckons you can't coach, you've made a mistake, and I'm out to prove you wrong. The 33rd generally says, well, you know what, I'm too young, I'm just come back from injury or whatever. He gets it. But let me tell you, the 23rd to the 33rd player, you mix results with until you play them. And that hasn't changed since I coached Footscray. Because, we don't want to be 23rd player.
The notion of belonging is you've coached at 4 football clubs, played elsewhere. Do you have a feel of where you might belong when it's all done?
There's a direct distinction between playing and coaching. That's number one.
Do you hope that you might belong everywhere? Do you hope that...
No, that won't happen.
Okay, why not?
The Dogs, I never really... I thoroughly enjoyed my time there, but I have this feeling that I just have this feeling that I just didn't fit in there. I don't know why. I loved my time there, but I don't think so. In the West, I was almost thinking the same, that this Victorian's come across, coached and gone, but I had one of the great moments of my sporting life happened last year when I went back and I walked around the boundary and there was an applause and why? Looked around to try to find out what was happening. It was just, and it was to me. And I've never felt so humbled that people still remembered that I'd spent, 10 difficult years there. It was great years, but, it's pretty hard. But I so much appreciated that. I couldn't believe that. That was just something extraordinary. And then when I come back, so I think there is a connection to the West. I didn't think so, but I think there's a real connection to the West. At Collingwood, I don't know how I'm going to be portrayed at Collingwood. I think I'm coached the second most number of games there. So I think by coming to Carlton, a lot of people still don't get the reason why I finished at Collingwood. How dare you desert us? Or hello. It wasn't quite like that, but and I'm not too sure how I'll be perceived at Collingwood. And Carlton's such a short time here.
Yep.
And I'm always going to be that Richmond player. I might be one of those blokes in the wilderness. Maybe.
You would hope
I
not.
don't know. Beg your pardon?
You would hope not.
I hope not, but I'm not too sure. I really don't know.
I asked the last question understanding that you probably have never worried about how you're perceived. You've said that, but...
Well, no, let me just say that that's not quite right. I know that the perception is different to other coaches and other people. What I'd like to say about it is I don't go out of my way to hurt people or to be aloof or supposedly aloof or whatever the case may be. It's just that's the moment. I don't plan to be what I am. I am what I am.
This record will last for generations. That's what's before us. When your grandkids' kids open up the season guide and on the top of the coaching page it's got Mick Malthouse, whether it's 750 or 800, whatever it is, how would you like those generations to think of that man?
I haven't really thought about that. I would like to think that people that I've worked with, not necessarily people who don't know me, but people I've worked with and people I've coached, I would like to think that they thought that I actually cared about them. That's all you can do, isn't it?
A good way to be remembered. Good on you, Mick. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jared.
Good luck for the milestone game.
Thanks, mate.
This has been a Fox Footy production, part of the Fox Sports Network.